I heard an interesting case this morning. You know, census data shows that less than 3% of the population claim that they are separated from their spouse. But the consequences of separation were the issues that drove today's couple into divorce court.
Divorce court is now in session.
Good day, ladies and gentlemen. I'm here with Ms. Davenport and Mr. Clemens. The two of you got married about a year ago, but you've been separated for 9 months. So you didn't live together very long as a married couple, and I think I might know one of the reasons why. To my right here, I have a Miss Kirsten David, who is now the girlfriend of the newly married Mr. Clemens. So, Ms. Davenport, it seems like a silly question now, but I'm going to ask it for you anyway. You say Mr. Clemens doesn't know what it means to be married.
Your Honor, clearly he doesn't.
Why don't you tell me how you got together and how come you stayed together such a short period of time?
Well, Your Honor, what happened was that we met in December 2013, and we met on a dating site. And he inboxed me, and however, we was talking from there, and we went on our first date around February-ish, and we was going on dates from there. So we got real serious from that point on. We was going to the movies from Thursday to Sunday, dinner, movies, church on Sundays, and everything. Everything was fun. We used to get to miss each other, and I used to wake up to texts every morning from him, so on and so on. So, however, about March, he was like, let's move together. I said, no, I didn't want to move together at that time.
Good for you.
So I know that is a seven-year gap in between us. I knew this in the beginning.
So you're 7 years older than he is, okay.
Yeah, so however, time goes on. So around April-ish, May, he was like, let's get married. We was in the room. So I was like, okay. So we went to go look at rings. We went to go look rings. He couldn't get the rings in his name, so I got it under my name. So we got the rings.
You mean he didn't have credit and you had credit,
yeah.
so you purchased both rings?
Yes, I did in my name.
No, she didn't purchase. I purchased.
Mr. Clemens, I will get to you as soon as I'm done with her.
He did not purchase them because clearly they're in my name, and I have an outstanding balance in my name, so how was it in his name?
And that's what you're seeking today.
Yeah.
Mr. Clemens, you are going to leave here if you are unable to contain yourself. You'll know when it's time to talk, because I'll look at you, I will call your name, and I will ask a question. Until then, don't say a word. So, you bought rings, and then when did you get married? In June?
June 6th.
Now, didn't you think that was a little quick?
Your Honor, I truly did. And I thought about it, but I was like, he was sounding mature. He kind of knew what he wanted. But as you see, he betrayed and swindled because he clearly don't know what it takes to be married.
Okay.
That's why we're here.
Mr. Clemens, why don't you tell me your version of how you two got together and to this point?
Well, we met online. She winked at me. It was on a dating site. She took me out on dates. I took her out on dates. She bought me clothes. She took me to go see her fights. She was...
Were you buying him clothes?
Yeah.
I do not understand that. What is wrong with people? You know, some guy, you're around him 3 months, you start buying him clothes.
Well,
What is that?
Well, I like to represent my man when he's with me, basically, so that's why.
Oh, he can't represent himself. You shouldn't be with him. But anyway, go ahead.
I can't represent myself. I want to say that for the record. I can represent myself.
Right, that part.
I can represent myself, so I want to say that for the record. She just decided to buy me stuff. So if she gonna buy me stuff, why would I not take it?
When did things start to go awry?
After I said I do.
What happened?
After I said I do.
What happened after you said I do?
After I said I do, we moved to Vegas because I had a child that was being born, so she understood that from previous. And
so were you both working in Vegas? Both had jobs in Vegas?
We both, no, we didn't.
Who was working?
I was working.
You were working?
Yes, ma'am.
But you moved to be near your child?
Yeah, I moved to be near my child.
Which is an honorable thing to do. I appreciate the fact that you wanted to be present.
Yeah, see, I'm not all bad how she tried to make me seem.
Nobody said all bad. I'm trying to get the story. So you moved, and then what happened?
And then we moved together, and she started being jealous and insecure. For example, one day we walked to the store, I held the door open for a young lady. The lady says I'm cute, and she goes off. She gets upset, she gets mad, she starts cursing me out, saying, why are you holding a girl for a different girl? Why are you doing this? Why are you doing that? She starts going through my phone. She gets jealous of my friends that she already knew about. Starting arguments. She broke my chain, tried to choke me.
Now, Ms. Davenport, did you lose your mind because this man was a gentleman and opened the door for somebody else?
No, Your Honor, I was not. I was not. Now, what I was tripping off of was the phone because I was his wife at the time. I had access to go through his phone. Yes, I did. So, yes, I did get kind of bothered by him texting his friends at times because you're married. You're technically married.
But what had he done
Nothing.
What had he done to inspire the suspicion in the first place where you felt the need to look in his phone? What had he done?
He didn't really do nothing too much. But I just went through his phone, however, but I wasn't really mad at that point. But when I really got mad is he was always on his phone, texting his friend, and he would be in the bed with me and stuff like that. I'm not getting your time. Somebody else is getting your time. We're clearly happily.
Isn't that a conversation? Isn't that not take the phone and see who it is? It's a turnaround. Hey, Martin. I said, you know, we need to spend a little more time together. You need to put the phone down, give me some attention. Isn't that the appropriate response?
I did. And he'd be like, oh, you know, he had his nonchalant attitude or whatever, or he didn't care what I said.
Did you ever see anything incriminating on the phone?
No, I never did see anything disrespectful on the phone. No, I didn't. But I just felt like that we're newlywed and it's no time for us. Basically, you're glued to your phone.
Basically, she's crazy.
And what I'll say to you is this: that is a sign of the times. It's a problem that is clearly one that a lot of people have. That electronics is intruding on the intimacy and of a relationship.
Right.
But to be jealous is not the appropriate response. It is to engage him in conversation and other things to do so you can get past that difficulty.
My mom made a statement to him, was like, he probably took your ring. I was like, why would you say that? And she was like, because he doesn't have no money.
Have you been living together for years but find that splitting up is as complicated as getting a divorce? Call toll-free at 1-877-311-2222 or visit our website at divorcecourt.com. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Divorce Court. Is the jealousy that she had the primary reason things began to go sideways?
Yes, Your Honor. It did. Jealousy, insecure, trust issues.
Yeah.
And I did nothing, as she told you, nothing to make her feel that way. You had access to my phone, and there was a password on it. But she had the password from a long time ago because I gave it to her because she was my girlfriend.
But clearly, she didn't find anything incriminating on there anyway. She says that right now.
Your Honor, because I know what being married is about. You're married. She's supposed to have everything. She can get into anything. I'm not supposed to be talking to anybody except for my friends.
I got you. Now, Ms. Davenport, you say another problem that you had with Mr. Clemens is that he was disrespectful to your mother.
Oh, yes. Yes, he was.
Why don't you tell me about that?
Well, basically what happened when my ring came up missing. So I normally leave my rings on the kitchen counter or on the table. I wash dishes, I clean up with it. So I take it off every day. I was washing, cleaning up and stuff, and my ring was on the table. So I asked my husband when I was done, did you move my ring or did you, do something with it? He said no. We tears up the house. We looked from the bedroom to the living room to the kitchen, everywhere in the house, couldn't find it. My mom made a statement to him, was like, he probably took your ring. I was like, why would you say that? And she was like, because he doesn't have no money. That's what she said. So when I told him that him and her got into an altercation, and he was like, why would you say that? I want to take my wife's ring. What did he say? Talking about, I wouldn't do that to my wife. This is a vow for us, and that's why we got married. I would not do that. If that's the case, I would do that for my own ring. I wouldn't take my wife's ring.
No, Ms. Davenport. Your mother said something nasty and rude about your husband. She had no reason to say it, and you told him about it, and he defended himself. Why are you mad at him?
No, I wasn't mad at him. I was never mad at him.
Well, you said he disrespected her. I don't see that.
No, afterwards, when they got to the altercation, he was like trying to talk to her sideways. He was defending himself. Yes, he was. But I was like, it's not the proper way to talk to neither one of you guys. Mm-hmm. And I'm in the middle here. I'm in the middle like, wow, like this is really happening. I didn't know how to I try to calm the situation down. So when they got into it, like after that had got done and said we did not find my ring, and my husband was like, probably a couple weeks later, well, your mom got to go. I was like, what do you mean she had to go? And he was like, because the ring came up missing and we getting into it, stuff like that. I said, but you knew from the gate, you was cool with it when I told you. He knew from the gate that she was coming to Las Vegas to come move with us, and she was paying the rent as well. She was helping us pay rent.
Well, let me ask you this, Mr. Clemens. I can understand difficulty with a mother-in-law. Did you agree to have her come and stay in the beginning?
Yeah, I did, because her mom had no place to go.
Can you take a step back from the fact that you love her to death because she's your mother and see that, was she really disruptive to your union?
I wouldn't say she was more disruptive of it, but it kind of conflicted us in a sense a little bit. But at the same time is that my mom is stubborn. She's 71 years old today, and she's going to do what she want to do, period, point blank, and I got it. You know what I mean?
That's called disruption.
So I'm like, no, let me see your phone. So I look in her phone, and I see some guy's number, and I'm like, why is this guy calling you? And she was like, oh, don't worry about it. It's nothing. Technically, we're separated anyway.
If you would like your case to be heard on divorce court, call us toll-free at 1-877-311-2222 or log on to our website at divorcecourt.com. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Divorce Court. Mr. Clemens, when did Kirsten get into the situation? How you doing over there?
How are you?
You want to come on up and talk to us?
Sure.
How did this happen?
Well, this happened because, Your Honor, me and my wife basically were over, and I met her at work.
Okay. Were you separated when you met her?
Yes, we were separated.
Okay. Had you two been separated when he met her?
We were separated, but she came into the picture, I don't know when. So I don't know how this partake came about, because at the same time as I was thinking we're still going to amend things accordingly to when I left him in February, March, when me and him last slept with each other and everything. I thought that we was going to move back together as a union, work things out, but currently he had other plans because clearly he didn't want to be married.
Did he tell you that he was going to try to work things out with you, or was that your hope?
When I seen him in February, yes, we did talk about it. We talked about when we separated in December, we said we was going to separate and be together, get back on our feet, and come back together. So what happened was in February-ish, he asked to see my phone. So I'll give him my phone, and he seen some dudes' numbers in my phone. And I told Martin up front, I said, I'm talking to people. I didn't lie. I told him up front, it was nothing me dating nobody, me not seeing nobody. I told him up front. He was like, how are you talking to people if you trying to work on your marriage? I was like, as quickly I start talking to my male friends, I can stop. You know what I'm saying? I said, technically, I'm laying up in here with you right now. Am I? I'm trying to be with you right now, so I'm trying to see where it's going to go. So at that point in time, Martin was like, he felt some type of way about it. So around March time come.
Well, wouldn't you feel some type of way about it, too, if you said, well, we're trying to make it back together, but he had a whole bunch of chicks in his phones that he was talking to? Wouldn't you feel some kind of way about that?
I would feel some type of way, Your Honor, but at the same time, is that as quick as if he would have did that, I know if he loved me like he said he did, or if I loved him, however the case may be, I would have stopped everything I was doing either way I go. So at the same time is that I had questioned Martin in the process of all this to now, till I just found out a couple weeks ago.
That he's with her?
Yeah.
Okay.
And that
now, Mr. Clemens, how did you see the attempting to getting back together situation occurring?
We had basically split up because of financial reasons. She was over here and I was over here. So I understood that. So come to find out, when she's coming to visit me, you know, we're spending time and stuff together like that, all of a sudden with her phone, she starts becoming secretive. And she's becoming secretive, so I noticed the first, you know, couple of visits that she came, I noticed, I'm like, okay, I didn't say nothing. So the last time she came, her phone went off again. She was like, oh, don't worry about it, it's nothing, don't worry about it. So I'm like, no, let me see your phone. So I look in her phone, and I see some guy's number, and I'm like, why is this guy calling you? And she was like, oh, don't worry about it, it's nothing. Technically, we're separated anyway. But I didn't know we were separated. I thought we were separated as far as living situation.
Yeah, in situation, you didn't think that you were separated, but
well, you
married.
gonna do your thing, I'm gonna do my thing. I never knew that. We never even discussed that until that moment right there. So from that moment on, it was like, she talking about love and all that. What love? I'm not stupid. If you
I'm gonna talk to Kirsten in a minute. When you met him, what did he say to you about his status?
When I met Martin, we had a discussion about him trying to pursue a divorce. That it was 100% over, that he hadn't spoken to her in months. So I figured
Were you
he
still
was a
talking
free
to
man.
both of them at the same time?
No, Your Honor, the only reason why I was talking to my wife at the time is because we have a cell phone that's in my name together. So she would call and be like, well, you know, the bill's due, I'm gonna pay my part, so you need to pay your part. So that's why we spoke.
Kirsten, you can have a seat there. Thank you very much. Usually I yell at the woman in that seat, but I have no reason to yell at you, so you're golden. In divorce court, people tell me the most intimate details of their lives. Join the conversation and share your experience on our Twitter page at Divorce Court and on our Facebook page. See how fans deal with their own relationships. The discussion can get heated. Don't miss it. Mrs. Davenport, I see that you're in pain, and I feel bad that you're in pain. But I will say this to you. I believe all the pain that you are in, you visited upon yourself. If you get married too quickly, if you get married to somebody younger, if you get married and move and then have your mother move in, mother-in-laws are a very irritating source. I never had one, but my husband, you know what I mean? It's just, it's hard. And you have to be understanding, and you have to be on his side when the mother-in-law is involved, because you're his wife. The decisions that you made were not good ones. And they were not blatantly wrong, but they were just a lot of small mistakes. You watch a guy for a long time before you marry him, and you make sure that you're ready for that. Then, you know, what are you going to be jealous for? If you get a young, nice-looking guy, you got to feel comfortable and secure in your own being, because he wasn't doing anything wrong. So you were visiting him with a whole bunch of angst and insecurity, which is very difficult for him. So between that and your mother, it got funny. And then you parted because he thought it was economically you couldn't be together, and you start talking to other dudes. It's all you. You want him to pay $1,200 for half of the rings. She does. She ain't getting it, don't worry.
I was just saying.
You made your investment. You guys did what you were doing together. I can't not now, because the marriage didn't work, tell him to pay for half of it. It was something you decided to do. That's what you did. I wish you both the best of luck. Hey, listen, don't get pregnant. You married? You already pregnant?
No.
Oh, wow! Oh, man of Shevitz. Listen here, people. We have to have a relationship. We have to have commitment. Then we have to have marriage. And then you have to see if the marriage works out. And then you have to watch them. Then and only then do we invite you into the gene pool. Bad move. Take your time, people. Take your time. This matter is adjourned. People, getting married and having children are two of the most important decisions that you make in your life. You can't do it just based on how you feel. You have to think. You have to think it through, and you have to understand what you really need to do. This morning, I heard a familiar case. Did you know that over half of the couples in this country report that they check their bank accounts more often than they have sex? Money issues and sex were just the tip of the iceberg for the young couple who came into court today.
Divorce court is now in session.
Good day, ladies and gentlemen. I'm here today with Larry Cochran and Tamisha Brownlee Cochran. The two of you have been together for 10 years, married for 6, separated for 2. You have a financial matter you would like me to resolve, but before we get that, I'm going to start with you, Mr. Cochran. Why don't you tell me why we're here in divorce court today?
I'm just fed up with it all. I'm tired of it, and I'm tired of being a housemaid, and I'm tired of doing everything. Clothes, you name it, everything's everywhere in that house.
When you say a houseman, what things are you required to do that makes you feel that way?
By picking up after her with her clean clothes, washing laundry, but instead, the laundry just be on the ground. And anything that we use in the house, it's
Do you
everywhere.
both work outside the home?
Yes.
Okay. But you're saying that inside the home, you're the only one working, and
Yes.
she never does anything.
No, she doesn't do anything.
Ms. Brownlee Cochran, what is your response to that?
That is the biggest bald-faced lie I've ever heard.
Are you a good housekeeper, or?
Okay, now, I'm not gonna say I'm a great housekeeper. I mean, right now I go to school full-time. I do go to work as well, full-time, just like he does. And of course, I'm a full-time mother. So I'm juggling 3 of those things throughout the day. So do I have enough time to clean up every day by the time he gets home from work? Probably not. But am I cleaning throughout the day? Yes, definitely, because that 3-year-old of mine is everywhere. So I clean up behind her all the time, and especially...
I object.
No objecting. Ms. Brownlee Cochran, go ahead.
So he would be in the bathroom for 3-4 hours on a time. He acts like a woman. Probably putting on makeup, all I know. I don't know what he's doing in that bathroom.
Really?
But by the time he is done,
Wow.
I'm right after him, telling him, hey, you didn't clean up your hair. Why is your hair still on the sink? Why is it still there? So then when he leaves, I'm cleaning that up. By the time he comes, yeah, maybe might be some clothes and stuff in that bathroom, or maybe my toothbrush and toothpaste might be on the sink instead of in the mirror.
Now, Mr. Cochran, I am going to say this. If I were to, or if anyone comes and want to leave their spouse, I wouldn't jump out with, yeah, she's messy. You know what I mean? And it appears to me she's got a full-time job, she's got a little kid, she's in school full-time. Yeah, maybe she is a little messy. You tell me why you want to leave this woman.
She doesn't have time for me, really.
Explain that to me.
She's, like you said, she goes to school full-time, she works full-time, and of course my daughter, and she don't even like tell me she loves me anymore or anything that nature. She doesn't show no affection or anything. It's like I'm a robot. I come in, do my thing, go to sleep, go to work. Same routine.
Mr. Cochran, let me ask you this. You got a woman who's got a child, she's got a home, she's going to school, she's working full-time, and yes, she's a little busy. Aren't you man enough to suck it up for a little bit till she gets out of school? I mean, do you need that much attention, that the fact that she is very busy at this time? You can deal with it because you're grown and you get it.
Yeah.
She's trying to get somewhere better. She's trying to take you along with her.
Yeah.
Yes, for our family.
Does that ever cross your mind?
No, it hasn't, and you have a good point. So, but she's something. But anyway.
I don't see divorceable here, really. I see a woman who's working all the time. I see a guy who's working and complaining about some small things. Give me divorceable.
Well, I can give you something. Well, she's very, like, if it's not her way, it's the highway. You know what I mean? Like, if I, like, make a mistake or if I make a little flaw, and if I say I'm sorry, that's the biggest thing. If I say I'm sorry, she don't want to hear that. That's like she said, it's a load of crap.
Do you allow the man to people make mistakes, you know.
That's very true.
And if they apologize, that's the best they can do. I mean, if they, clean up whatever mess they made. But why don't you, are you not accepting of his humanness?
I mean, I've been knowing him for the last 10 years, okay? These 10 years, all I hear is sorry. That's all I hear. I'm tired of hearing sorry, sorry, sorry. Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot
Are you
that.
a perpetually sorry brother?
Yeah. Yeah, part-time, sometimes. But when I try
It's
to change
tiring.
it, like, and try to make it better, she still outweighs the bad over it.
Well, what are you always so sorry about?
Like when I forget sometimes to give my daughter medicine, or sometimes when I
You
know,
forget to give your daughter her medicine?
yeah.
And she has really bad heartburn, just like he does. And with that being said, Judge, he takes his heartburn medicine faithfully. Faithfully.
How can you forget to medicate your child?
Working a lot, but
I
yeah,
work too, Judge.
yeah,
And I go to school, Judge.
stuff be on the ground still. You don't work
You
that hard.
worried about stuff on the ground and your
And I'm
daughter's
worried about my
is
child's
sick and you can't
heartburn.
give her your medicine? You got a lot of nerve. I was about ready to start fussing at her about not giving you any sex, but now I see what her issue is.
He wanted it 2 and 3 times every day. Every day.
2 or 3 times a day. Kind of, sort of?
Yeah, sort of.
Yeah.
It's too much.
It is a lot. Divorce isn't easy. If you need help with your breakup, call toll-free at 1-877-311-2222 or visit our website at divorcecourt.com. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Divorce Court. So, Mr. Cochran, you have been distraught or upset about the amount of sex you get, but you say when you complained about it, you got a very unusual response from your wife. Why don't you tell me what that was?
The unusual response was, well, since I'm not giving you attention or enough affection to see other women. And she told me this throughout the months and the year. It got to years. And it was to the point that I started believing her because I felt like a less of a man. I felt like, well, hey, you know what I'm saying, you showing everybody else love and affection and you telling me to see somebody else. That made me feel low and it made me feel like I was nothing. Like I was
Ms.
a piece of
Brownlee
meat.
Cochran, did you actually tell your man, your husband, if you want some love and affection, find another woman?
Unfortunately, yes, I did say that. Now, I have a really good excuse, I believe, for me saying that. For the last 4 or 5 years, I have submitted to this man whenever he wanted it, how he wanted it, when he wanted it, whatever. I am tired of him abusing my body. So I said, well, hey, we need to start making a scheduled time to make love, okay? So that wasn't good enough for him. He wanted it 2 and 3 times every day. Every day.
2 or 3 times a day? Kind of, sort of?
Yeah, sort of.
Yeah.
It's too much.
It is a lot.
It is
I
a
mean,
lot.
too much is a value judgment that only the 2 parties involved can place on it.
Right.
Did you understand the nature of how your high sex drive was making it difficult for her? Not that you're wrong, because your sex drive is what it is. You can't be blamed for that. But did you understand that they were disjointed, that you weren't on the same level with respect to your need?
Yeah, I understand that, but what I don't understand is when she's saying that, she's either tired or I don't even get to that far to the third base.
Because you
at
should
all.
be asking me when I'm tired. Why don't you ask me when I got a spunk of energy?
Well, I tried that. When you do have spunk of energy, I be singing to you. I be doing a whole bunch of stuff for you. I
Is
even
he
cook for you.
romantic and you fail to at least give it,
Oh, God.
give it a shot?
Romantic?
Him.
I guess if we can put this on a scale, his romanticy is probably a 2.
Wow, really?
Are you light on the romance?
I'm smooth on it. Not light.
I'm more romantic than he will ever be. Every birthday, I'll put out some roses, make him some hot, bubbly bath water, put some candles in there.
Does she do that?
Well, she did that like 2 years ago, and when we were dating, she didn't do it now.
Okay, maybe not now.
Because you fall asleep everywhere you go.
First of all, Mrs. Cochran, how foolish of you to tell your man to go find somebody else. while you're in, I mean, that doesn't serve your purposes at all. You need to, work something out, we'll try a little this, try a little that, and, give me a day off on Tuesday, maybe, that kind of thing. You get creative with it, but you don't get frustrated and shove them out the door for your own well-being. Not just the marriage's well-being, but for your own well-being. I know you got sick of it and you said a thing. You know what I mean? And people say stuff when they're exhausted. She didn't mean that. She didn't mean that. You shouldn't have gotten your ego all tore up about it.
She's something.
I don't see it.
You don't see it?
No. And I wish you could show it to me.
The problem is, Judge, the problem is I am headstrong, okay? I'm very motivated. I'm very energetic. When I want something, I'm going to go get it, point blank. And if he can't do it for me, I'm going to do it myself.
What are we talking about?
She's talking about all in herself.
Basically saying, I want more money, okay? So I go ahead, I start a business, and go move for it. He wanted to still stay in the same situation.
I gotcha. You're a go-getter, and you're saying that he's just complacent and doesn't assist you in that.
Yes.
I gotcha. You say that Mr. Cochran is both selfish and cheap.
I could ask him for $5 or $10. He'll say, you don't deserve it.
I feel that she don't deserve it because she don't put effort in being a wife to me.
If you would like your case to be heard on divorce court, call us toll-free at 1-877-311-2222 or log on to our website at divorcecourt.com. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Divorce Court. Ms. Brownlee Cochran, you say that Mr. Cochran is both selfish and cheap. Why don't you explain those comments to me?
Yes, that is so true. This man, so when I first wasn't working, I was a stay-at-home mother, okay, for the first 3 years of our daughter's life because we wanted to make sure we watch her, okay? So that means I have no money. That means he's the breadwinner over here. So when I need something, I need it for her or for myself. I could ask him for $5 or $10. He'll say, you don't deserve it. I'm like, really? Why don't I deserve it? I watch your daughter 24/7. I go to school. I'm doing everything you want for me to do, probably other than the sex thing. Why don't I deserve it? Oh, you're lazy. I come here, the house is all dirty. Look at our room, look at your clothes, look at this, look at that. I work my butt off for this, so I deserve it. That's what he says to me.
Mr. Cochran, would you want to respond to that?
Yeah, I do, actually. Some of it's true, but I feel that she don't deserve it because she don't put effort in being a wife to me. And she thinks it's funny, like when I be like trying to clean her mess on my day off or when I'm doing work, going to work, almost being late for work, I'm gonna be hurting myself over her high heel shoes and picking up her mess. Then she thinks it's funny. And now my daughter's taking that habit. And she even shows attitude.
Who shows attitude?
You. And my daughter gives me lip because she's trying to be like you, I guess.
Does your wife give you lip?
Yeah, all the time.
What kind of lip does she give you?
You're a big boy. You'll be all right.
Yeah.
Pat yourself on the back. You good?
Mr. Cochran, I guess the part I don't understand is no matter what goes on, you and I end up talking about her not picking up her clothes. And I just don't see, people have flaws, you know what I mean? And I don't pick up mine either. It just, you claim great inadequacies on her part, and I'm not seeing it.
Okay.
And I want you to. Is it about her attitude? Tell me about her attitude. How does she come across? What did she say?
She's cold-hearted, and I feel she don't have no emotion.
Give me an example. I can't picture it.
She'd tell me to go get her something to eat, and I go get her something to eat. If I made a slight mistake over it, she'd give me hell over it. She'll tell me you didn't do good. You didn't tell him. No, you didn't. That's not good enough. Go back out there and get it. She won't just, say,
So you went out and got fast food and they got it wrong and you bring it back and she's claiming that you didn't pay enough attention at the window. Does that kind of thing happen at your house?
Yes, it does. It does.
And why does it?
Let's put an example here. I'll ask for a cheeseburger and some French fries with no salt. He'll go to the window He don't ask for the salt. So I still have some salty French fries. Well, I don't want salty French fries. I asked for no salt. What's so hard about getting that right? So when he brings it back to me, I eat it, and I'm like, well, I'm eating salty French fries. You messed up.
Is that really that important?
It is that important. I hate salt. I don't like salt on a lot of things.
Picky.
And I feel that if he got it wrong, he can easily go fix the mistake.
Could it be that the fast food place messed up?
Of course, they did mess up. And it's his duty to make sure they fix it.
I get it. There's always a whole lot going on in divorce court that people want to talk about. If you have something you want to say, join us on Twitter @DivorceCourt, or jump on our Facebook page and see what everybody's talking about on there. Sometimes you people get heated. Don't miss it. Mr. and Mrs. Cochran, I think I only saw about 10% of what's wrong. And I don't know if it was just time constraint, you were unable to present it. I don't know if you don't feel fluent about it, that it's not easy to cross your lips. So I'm seeing Nicky Picky, but this is the tip of a very large iceberg. So I'm not going to try to chip away at it and see if you guys can continue to sail on, because I realize that is not available to you. I will say this to you, however. You have a 3-year-old. It is incumbent upon both of you to treat each other with the utmost respect, love, and care. And I do mean respect, love, and care. Because to the extent that your child have to have 2 separate homes, 2 separate situations, she's got to know that the 2 people in her life that she relies on the most care for one another. You know what I mean? You ain't got to be crazy about one another, but you really have got to make a point of being kind and caring to one another. Okay, I'm saying? The relationship is over. You don't get to be mad anymore because you done got rid of each other. You know what I'm saying?
Hallelujah.
Talk about Ms. Cochran, you want me to order him to pay you $413 a month until sometime in 2017 to pay off the balance on a 2009 car, and tell me what your arrangement was with him with respect to this car and why you believe I should award you that amount of money.
Before we were separated, he bought that car for me as an anniversary gift. Mm-hmm. Okay?
Whose name is the car in?
It's in both of our names, but
Okay.
I'm on the top lead, or the top holder. So basically, I want him to continue paying that because that's a gift to me. I mean, he wanted me to have it. He said I deserved it. I feel that he should finish paying it off.
Okay. Do you have any paperwork about how much is left on the loan, the amount of the loan, the
Actually, I got a
timing of the
promissory
loan?
letter that he wrote to me.
Okay. Mr. Cochran, what do you want to say with respect to this $413 a month she wants me to award?
I'm gonna do it because I love my daughter and I want her to have the best.
Well, aren't you something? Wonderful. That's a good thing to say. Now, I ain't gonna take his word for it. Don't worry about it. I'm gonna make an order. This is unusual for a married couple to do this. It doesn't matter anymore because this man has already stipulated to the payment, and I'm gonna require him as a matter of law. But he said, Larry Cochran will continue to make payments on $413 for the car until paid off, which will be February of 2017, and that's the date I'm going to use. If I refuse, then I will be ordered to pay child support. So you said, it's either this or a child support order.
Yes. Yes, I did.
Even after 2017, your child will need support. You'll still be there?
Yep.
Do the right thing.
Yep.
But I just want to reinforce that and make it easy for him to see that baby and make it easy for him to be kind and generous with you, because you've got to, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Make it smooth.
I tried.
Make it smooth.
I'm still trying.
Don't be mad about old stuff. Just, it's over with. So done with it. So yesterday's news. So there is an order in favor of Mrs. Cochran for $413 per month until February of 2017. It is so ordered. Larry and Tamisha got a lot of things wrong during their marriage, but they got one thing right, and that's the one thing I want to applaud them for. They decided, even though they weren't going to be together, they were going to be good parents together, and that is the most important thing. I heard a tough case this morning. Psychologists say that most people outgrow the angry tantrums teenagers display. For today's couple, angry tantrums grew into one of the major issues that brought them into divorce court.
Divorce court is now in session.
Good day, ladies and gentlemen. I'm here today with Josefina Corona and Christian Silva. The two of you have been married for 4 years, but you've been together for 14 years. You do not, however, want to be married anymore. Ms. Corona, why don't you start me out by telling me a little bit about your relationship and why you've ended up in divorce court here today?
Well, Your Honor, we went to high school together. We've been together for 10 years, been married for 4 years. I was in the 9th grade. He was in the 11th grade when we met. Our relationship was great at the beginning. We had 2 daughters. After that, we decided to move to Florida.
Okay. How old were you when you had the girl?
18 years old.
Okay.
So we decided to move to Florida to give our daughters a better life. He started his own business, a limo driving company. So after that, everything was great. But the problem started when we got married. After we got married, like 3 years after, we was arguing so much.
Well, what did saying I do change?
He's starting to get jealous.
He wasn't jealous before?
No, everything was
But
great.
after he married you, he got jealous?
Yes.
Now let's ask him what happened. Mr. Silva, did that happen?
Well, we separated after we married.
Yeah.
A year after our marriage, we just decided that it would be best, because we was arguing so much, it would be best if we just like separate for some time. And what ended up happening is throughout the separation, she ended up meeting with somebody else, and she ended up getting with somebody else. Because of that, I have jealous.
How long were you
issues.
separated before she ended up with somebody else?
It was less than 3 months.
Less than 3 months. Did you not date when you separated?
At the beginning, no. At the beginning, no. Then I found somebody. I started kind of getting into this dating.
Right.
And it was kind
Did
of
you
get
expect
serious.
that? Did you guys agree, or did you expect that she wasn't going to date when you were separated? I mean, you've gone your separate ways, or was it just clearly, let's just give it a break to clear our heads, or?
I mean, I thought it was just for us to clear our heads. I didn't think we were gonna. She was gonna start dating, so that kind of threw me off. You know.
So is that why you started dating? Because she was dating?
Kind of, yeah. It was, yeah.
How long was it before you two got back together?
After that, about 1.5 years. After she seen that I was dating, she came back to me and she said she wanted us to work it out again. You know, we got the kids and stuff.
Right.
And
right. So you decided to give it another shot.
Yeah.
What were you guys fussing about before you broke up, though? What was going wrong?
Well, I think prior to that, it was kind of my fault, because I was hanging out a lot. You know, I was partying and not, you know, being
not walking the straight and narrow like a husband.
Correct. I admit to that. Yeah.
So you weren't through playing
Yeah.
during your first year of marriage. Is that an accurate reflection of what happened? He was just going out too much?
Yes, and drinking too much.
And drinking too much. Were you drinking too much?
Yeah, you know, partying, drinking almost every day. Yeah.
So what happened after you got back together?
After we got back together,
She let this other guy go, right? Was there ever any issue of back and forth? Was she seeing him and seeing you, or this, that, and the other thing?
well, on the issue, there was a big, there was a little altercation, because we were separated. You know, she stood in the condo. I kind of like set this rule for the guy not to be there. You know,
Right.
around my kids. You know, and
Yeah.
And one day I went to visit my kids, and the guy was there, and it was like a little altercation, and then that set it off. After that, I said, you know what? I'm just gonna let it go.
So you and the dude got into it?
Little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. More like I got into him, yeah.
Yeah. He let me know he wanted to fight. He just let me know he wanted to fight. That's all right. I mean, you know. What happened first? You decided to get back with him first, or you got rid of the guy first?
Well, I got rid of the guy first. Well, actually, the separation happened because of him. He wanted to break up for a while. So after,
Did you just want to be free
Well,
for a moment?
Since we were arguing so much, I figured, you know what? Let's explore it. Let's give us some space, see what happens. And it turned out to be, you know, her
You
finest.
saw what happened.
I almost
She
got
found
replaced.
some other guy, yeah.
After that, I was like, yeah.
he
Okay.
started dating first.
Yeah.
So he didn't want
I
me to
wasn't
date
really
anyone.
dating. It was just, you know, mingling and stuff like
Mingling.
friends. You know?
So why were you so surprised that she started dating when you were mingling?
well,
I mean, did you really think it was a break for you and not for her?
I was no. That's right. I was just surprised because it was like her side was
Look
kind
at
of
her.
serious, you know.
How
like,
surprised could you be? You let that out loose? They're gonna flop. You can't. You know what I mean? It really, seriously. There's, you know, they're gonna be in line looking for you. You got to keep that in mind, my man.
Correct. Yeah.
Don't get.
Oh yeah, I learned.
He said because I have children, nobody's gonna look at me. That's what he thinks.
Oh, he don't know anything. Apparently, you know, you could have 17 people still be looking for you.
Thank you.
I don't think she's as affectionate as I want her to be. I think that's the way she is. You know, I just think that sometimes guys want more affection, you know?
Have you been living together for years but find that splitting up is as complicated as getting a divorce? Call toll-free at 1-877-311-2222 or visit our website at divorcecourt.com. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Divorce Court. Ms. Corona, you say your husband has a bad temper. Why don't you give me a few examples other than him getting on that guy that you were with that would demonstrate that to me?
Very bad temper. Like, let's say we stuck in traffic. If the light changes, he starts honking, he starts cursing, move out the A.
Oh yeah, who doesn't like traffic? Who likes traffic? You know, that's.
Nobody likes traffic.
Yeah.
I agree that nobody likes traffic, but not everybody's cussing and honking. Sometimes it seems like that, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Are you cussing and honking with the kids in the car?
Yes.
I was.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's a yeah.
Yeah,
That's a
yeah.
How uncool is that?
It's not cool at all.
Yeah,
But you know what I say is if I have a bad temper, she also has a bad temper.
well, and we'll get to that. We're gonna finish talking about your bad temper first. What other examples do you have of his failure to control his temper?
If I cook for him and the food is not like he wants it to be, he makes me recook the food again until the food is cooked right.
Is he nice about it or is he cranky
No,
about it?
he's cranky.
Are you cranky about the food, Mr. Silva?
Well, I feel if she's not putting it all in, like if she's not making it out of her heart, I don't think the food, you know, they say when you cook from the heart, it comes out better. So.
Who says that?
He does.
I cook with all the love and care in the world. The other day, my son said, your cooking is kind of ew. And then he listed the 7 good meals I've made in the 23 years he's been with me.
Yeah.
I ain't mad. I can't cook. You know, cooking is like anything else. You can have an off night. You know, anybody can have you can't get mad about that and accuse her of not cooking with love because she didn't, you know, it wasn't exactly the way you wanted it.
I just don't want it to be like cooking as a burden for her. I want her to be like, you know, to be proud of her dish and, you know, to be like.
You wanted her to be excited about the meatloaf.
Yeah. As I am like excited when I eat it, you know.
Okay.
So.
When you go, are you cheering all the way to work?
Huh?
I said, are you cheering all the way to work?
No.
I mean, cooking is work. You know what I mean? You want her to, I don't know, you know what I'm saying? It's not, I'm so happy to be putting this meal together for my man. Just let me flip this one more time. It doesn't work. It's a job. It's part of her gig. Some people enjoy cooking, some people don't. And every once in a while, you make a jacked up meal.
Yeah.
Just like you screw up at work on occasion, right?
Yeah.
Other than the other guy, what is your main complaint about Miss Corona?
I would say affection. I would say affection. Like, I don't think she's as affectionate as I want her to be. I think that's the way she is. You know, I just think that sometimes guys want more affection, you know? I mean, she does
Are you talking
things.
affection or are you
She does
talking
very romantic
sex?
things. No, not.
He wants that
Just
every
ask.
day.
It was clarification. What?
He wants that every day. 3 times a day.
No, that's not true.
Yeah, it's a little bit true because you're smiling. It's a little bit true, but that's interesting. I don't get a lot of that from guys, that I need more affection. I think that's very thoughtful. Why don't you explain to me what kind of affection you would like her to show you? Now, pay attention. Go
Well,
ahead.
you know, like, I would say, like, you know, maybe more kisses, more hugs. If we're watching TV together, you know, like, cuddle up and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Now, let me ask you a question. You say he likes a lot of sex.
Mm-hmm.
Are you scared that if you a little kiss on the cheek will lead to 30 minutes of action?
No, I'm not scared.
You're not scared of that?
No.
So did you hear what he asked for? Because I always ask men to hear what their women are asked. Did you hear what he asked for?
Yes.
Do you think you can give him what he asked for?
It's kind of hard because since we argue most of the time, he curses at me, like he calls me the B word. Like, so every time he wants to kiss me or hug me, it's in my head and I can't forget it.
I got you. So that's what we're going to talk about then.
It was that separation when she, like, got with this person that is, like, you know, I haven't been able to, like...
Fully get over that.
Yeah. So I feel like she betrayed me.
If you would like your case to be heard on divorce court, call us toll-free at 1-877-311-2222 or log on to our website at divorcecourt.com. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Divorce Court. So, Mr. Silva, she accused you of saying some very unkind things to her when you're angry. And I think we've all agreed that you have a bit of a temper. Do you, when you are angry, treat her in a manner that is disrespectful?
I would say I don't... It's just... It was that separation when she, like, got with this person that is, like, you know, I haven't been able to, like...
Fully get over that?
Yeah. So I feel like she betrayed me and she was out, you know?
Doing what you were doing?
Nah. I mean, not like...
No, seriously.
Well, yeah, doing what I was doing before, but now I stopped all of that. That's how come I'm telling her that if I make the sacrifice, I don't go out.
Yeah.
I'm through with my
No,
boys.
but I'm saying when you separated, you said you were mingling, that you were dating, and she did that as well.
Yeah.
And I think that sometimes, well, it struck close to his home. The male ego is this huge, huge thing. And it's one of the most hyperbolic emotions that you can have. It's how a man feels about how other people feel about him. It is a deep, deep thing. And I'm not getting mad at you, but I'm just trying to explain it to you. So what happened was he thought of you as his. Mm-hmm. Even when you weren't together. And then when he realized you didn't think of you as his, it struck him at the deepest part of himself. I mean, his whole person was implicated in that. And he's still hot about it. He's insecure about it because he felt you belonged to him because you were his since you were 18. The idea of you with another man at all, ever, struck at the core of his personage, and he can't get past it. How close did I come?
Very close.
Yeah.
It's true.
You know that's your problem and not her problem, right?
I gotta surpass that, you know?
You don't have to suppress it. You have to deal with it. Do you understand? There's two separate things. You have to be man enough to look it in the eye. She was with another guy because I was with other women. I was looking for a freedom that I wanted. She had it too. She's a woman. She's grown. She has needs. She has decided that I am now the one. I don't want this other guy. She's tested out something else, didn't want it. She came back to me, and I'm man enough to deal with that, and we're going to move forward. You got daughters, right? Yes. I'm going to give my wife the life I want my daughters to have, because they will live whatever script you write for them. So if you write a script that says, Mommy is a B and an H because Daddy can't handle the pain of not being her one and only, then they're going to grow up and marry a guy, and they're going to think it's quite normal to be a B and an H and be screamed at and be yelled at because that's what Mommy took from Daddy. Mm-hmm. That's not what you want to sell to them, is it? No. So what you have to do is bring it up to the surface and deal with it. It does not make you less than a man that she got somebody else. It doesn't make her love you any less that she was able to move on when you decided you wanted something else and you wanted to be free. And it doesn't make you susceptible to any, nobody's laughing at you, nobody thinks you're foolish, none of that happened. It was a learning experience for both of you, and you're a grown man and you can handle it. Do you understand that? Yes, correct. Live that and believe it. And if you can't get next to it, we'll give you a tape of this, and I'll tell you over and over again every day. In divorce court, couples tell me everything about their relationships. Want to share your experience? Join the conversation on our Twitter page at Divorce Court. On Facebook, check out other fans and their intimate issues. You know everybody has something to say about love. What's on your mind? So, Ms. Corona, you don't want to really leave this guy, do you?
No, I do not.
You want to keep him? You love him? He's good to you guys as kids? He's a good dad?
He is a good dad. I can front on that.
What do you need him to change in order for you to live comfortably with him?
I want him to be able to trust me more. Because he goes on my social media. He goes through my messages. He goes through my emails. He goes through my phone.
Have you ever found anything suspect in your travels?
It might be suspect because of the past thing that I might be. Yep. Making stories that are. Yeah. Might be that. Yeah. But nothing, I've never found nothing concrete. No.
And I tell you, anything that she puts in there, if you're looking at through a lens of concern and insecurity, you're going to see something wrong there. And it has nothing to do with what she's doing and nothing to do with who she's talking to. It has to do with what you're afraid of. Don't let your fears dictate the rest of your life. Make a decision that you can she ain't going nowhere. She's still with you, hothead and all. Right? Put the social media down. You're not going to stop anything. If she wants to go, she can go. Another guy, she wants to be with you. You skulking around behind her with your head over her shoulder. It's not going to change a thing. The thing that will keep her with you is being calm and loving. That's what'll keep her. Right. Not suspicions, not checking, not anger, but love and care. And you know what I mean? Yes. That'll keep her with you, and that'll keep your little girls in a position to get a guy that's going to treat them well. Yeah. Because I mean, you're the guy. You're the standard bearer. Yeah. They don't get it. You know what I mean? If you playing the role of a bad boy, you're going to have a whole lot of people to fight with in the coming years. Do you understand what I'm telling you? I understand. Yeah. Do the right thing, Mr. Silva. I think you're a good guy. Help him out with it. This matter is adjourned. I don't know if you caught it or not, but I saw Christian's face change when I spoke to him. He did something that is normally very difficult for people. He took in criticism that was real, true to his heart. He listened to it, he heard it, saw the truth in it, and then he made a decision to change. This morning, I heard a very interesting case. Name calling and anger lead to so many divorces. In today's case, hurtful and destructive arguments were the issues this couple brought into divorce court.
Divorce court is now in session.
Good day, ladies and gentlemen. Ms. Crudup and Mr. Pelly, you two have been married 1 year. You do not want to be married anymore. Ms. Crudup, you say Mr. Pelly has an extraordinary anger management problem and that you would like some transitional support so you can leave. So why don't you start out, Mrs. Crudup, and tell me a little bit about your relationship and how you got together.
Me and Danny met back in 2011. We stayed at a local hotel with each other. We were next door partners. When I first met him, he needed someone to braid his hair, so I started braiding his hair. Thought his eyes was cute. I loved his physique. We hung out with each other every single day, 24 hours.
And how long did you hang out with each other before you became a couple?
We had relations and became a couple in 2012 on my birthday.
Oh, okay. Now, Mr. Pelly, did she get it right so far?
Yeah, for the most part.
For the most part,
I mean,
okay.
I don't think it really happened that fast, but, you know, like, she was seeing other people, you know, and I was kind of pursuing it, and it kind of dragged out before, you know, we actually
Well, she said it was about a year.
Yeah, I guess.
It was a year later.
Yeah, okay. You say your husband was way different before you got married than he is now. In what way is he different?
He's different because in the beginning he was loving, he was kind, he never said anything derogatory towards me. When he actually moved into an apartment that we shared, he always paid the bills, so I found a sort of stability in him. And then at that point, he never called me any sort of names, never did any eruption or anger in front of our children or anything.
So you saw no temper whatsoever?
I did see some temper now. When some of his relatives moved in, I seen some anger that he directed towards them. Like if his home wasn't clean, he would be cursing them out, but he still never yelled anything at me.
Never yelled in your direction?
Never.
Okay. Mr. Pelly, again, is that accurate?
I get upset with people, but it's not just like me getting angry with you, you don't do something. If I go and work 12 hours a day and I come home and people that's living in my house for free ain't cleaning, of course I'm gonna say something.
You're gonna say something.
And
now,
if you don't like it, that's not my fault.
And I'm with you. Is your level of anger appropriate for the trouble that you have? You know, is it a little bitty problem, a whole lot of anger, or?
See, I think people get intimidated with my voice. I get obnoxious, but it's not like super intimidating or threatening. You know, I say a lot of B words or...
You curse?
You know, I curse a lot, you know, so...
And do you raise your voice?
I raise my voice, but it's not because it's not excessive.
It's not threatening?
I don't go over and beyond.
You don't go over and beyond. Have you ever seen him go over and beyond before you married him?
Yes.
Stop lying.
Give me an example.
Before we were married, I had a relative over, and Danny had got off of work, and he was coming in from a long day at work, and he seen that relative, and he was like, "Oh my gosh, you're always here." So he started calling that relative names. So an altercation broke out. Danny ended up going to a hospital to get stitches, and he felt as if I should have defended him more. And I told him, no, you guys have your own friendship. That's between you guys. You guys know each other just like as long as you knew me, and you shouldn't have called that relative those names.
But...
Now, Mr. Pelly, what's your version of that event?
You know, how it originally started, on my way home from work, I get some text messages or whatnot, talking about some stuff's going to happen in my car and stuff. I had a real nice truck on rims and stuff. And so when I get there, I walk in the house and I'm just mugging her. I don't say nothing. She calls me curse words. So I'm like, hey, bum this, bum that. You know, she didn't like what I had to say. So when I turned around, she hit me over the head with a glass bottle. If you see right here, I got a scar right here. It was like inches away from my eye socket.
How is it that he went over the top when he's the one that got popped in the head and had to go to the hospital? How do you see that as an anger management problem on his behalf?
Because I felt that he was disrespectful. And I felt that he should have came in and simply said, can you leave, like, nicely?
But that's not my place. If that's your family, that's your job. That's not my job.
And ask me to.
I shouldn't have to. As your wife, you're supposed to honor me as your husband.
But even let's say she failed. You shouldn't have had to ask, but you should have. Why didn't you just ask? Say, hey, baby, could you tell her to get out of here because she's getting on my last nerve?
I have plenty of times, Your Honor, and she don't listen to me. It's just that honor thing, and that's what all my anger stems back from. And then the fact of when she hits me over my head, you're just gonna sit there.
Y'all, who? The anger looks like your side of the family, not him.
I told him to call the police on her, make a report.
And I did, and she wouldn't tell the police what happened.
You mean to tell me somebody bopped your man upside his head and you wouldn't tell the police what happened?
No, I didn't want to speak to them. I just stayed in the house with the children and locked the door.
Oh, well, now that was just wrong. 9 ways from Sunday, that's wrong. That's your man, you stand up for him. Police get called, you tell him what the story is. He got injured, he got assaulted.
Well, how I looked at it is this was a new relationship, and this is a relative that has been all my life. And I didn't want to get in the middle of it.
You know, sometimes what is required of a woman is to stand up in a circumstance where you have 2 competing interests and conduct your business so that those competing interests can be both served and taken care of without anybody going to the hospital or jail.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I mean? You chose not to do that. You chose to be actively inactive. You know what I mean? It just, you can't do that. To be a woman, you have to sometimes take sides and show up and act like you got some sense.
I just know she ain't even wearing her ring. Why ain't she wearing her ring? I still wear my ring. Why ain't you wearing your ring? Where's your ring at?
Divorce isn't easy. If you need help with your breakup, call toll-free at 1-877-311-2222 or visit our website at divorcecourt.com. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Divorce Court. Mr. Pelly, you say that your wife withholds sex from you as punishment. Why don't you tell me about that?
Yeah, so I work long hours, 12 hours a day. I go in, I provide for my kids and her 3 kids that is outside of our relationship and her. And it's like, you know, at the beginning it used to be good and plentiful, and now it's just like, hey, I come home and I have a task list, you know? I get off of work and it's, hey, I literally on our wall in our living room, I have a list with things she writes down that I got to do when I get home. And if I don't do them and stuff, she uses sex against it. Like, oh, you ain't getting none tonight. If you don't do the dishes, you ain't getting it tonight. If you don't help me with my homework, you ain't getting it tonight. And she uses it over my head. And then like the whole honor thing, look, I just know she ain't even wearing her ring. Why ain't she wearing her ring? I still wear my ring. Why ain't you wearing your ring? Where's your ring at?
Mrs. Crudup, do you play him that close and he don't get all the check marks off the list? He gets no love?
No, that's not true.
Stop lying.
I feel that every morning he wakes up 5 a.m. B, where's my cigarettes at? Where's my utensils at? I'm like, Danny's right there. He doesn't apologize, he just goes back to sleep. Every time he approaches me with anything, it's disrespectful. I get called all the names in the book.
So and you don't tell me.
Mr. Pelly, please.
I feel that I shouldn't have to give him sex every single day when I'm tormented with the words that he says to me.
Do you understand what she just explained to you?
Yeah, but at the same time, you wouldn't be tormented with words if you did your part as a woman.
Well,
I do my part as a man. Do your part as a woman.
Explain that to me. What is she failing to do as a woman that she should be doing?
I shouldn't work 12 hours a day and come home. You're with the kids. Make sure the dang house stays clean.
How many kids do you have?
We have 5 altogether.
And what's the youngest one?
6 weeks.
6 weeks? Ooh.
We just had a newborn baby. And at that time I had my baby, the house wasn't clean. You're fat, lazy, this, that, and the other. I'm like, I just had a baby. How am I fat? Like, he just depresses me with all these different things. I'm trying to build myself as a woman, and he sabotages it.
Okay. Let me ask you this, Mr. Pelly. I understand that you get distraught by certain things. Some of them I think are legitimate, some of them maybe not, but you get distraught by things. When you say manly, does that include a sense of responsibility and respect and dignity, not to call the woman that you love out of her name, to curse at her and all that, do you believe that that is in fact a manly thing to do, or is that a failure of manhood to express your displeasure in such an unfortunate manner?
I don't agree with it, and I hate doing it, but it's like, how else can I express it, you know? If I break stuff, she calls the police on me. I mean, she even calls the police on me if I cuss, if I call her a B word or anything.
Don't cuss and don't break things.
That's all you have to do.
How am I supposed to express myself? It's like...
You know what, the English language is a beautiful thing. There's like 99 words for just about every thought that you want to have, and you can express those words, and you can sit down and have a conversation. You could say, hey, baby, here are my concerns. I've worked these 12 hours, and this is what I would like. Do you think that we can work this out? But
Yes.
those are the kinds of conversations that get you the results that you want. They really are.
I have, Your Honor.
My main issue is...
But the thing is...
You asked me why I'm not wearing my ring today. I'm not doing this anymore. When I leave back to Seattle, you're gonna stop this or we're not. I want a divorce, and I want the spousal support, because when he first came in, he started, paying all the bills. I had a stability in him, and I feel that he should help me do that until I can be able to get on my feet.
Do you feel the distress that she has with the manner that you deal with her? Whether or not you're right or wrong about the specific issues, do you understand how detrimental that is, not only to her as a person, but to your children, especially the daughters? Did you punch the car?
I did, after she broke out my van window.
If you would like your case to be heard on divorce court, call us toll-free at 1-877-311-2222 or log on to our website at divorcecourt.com. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Divorce Court. So do you feel that, the level of her distress? And do you think that that's natural?
No, I don't think it's natural. I do think I got a little bit of an anger problem. I don't think it's right for me to do it.
Mm-hmm. A little bit of an anger problem. Mrs. Crudup bought some photos that she says is demonstrative of the level of anger that you display.
This is our truck that we share together.
How'd that happen?
Both of our names. Danny gets mad and starts punching it over a simple phone call. I could be talking to my children's father. We're talking on the phone, discussing our parenting plan, and he's mad that I won't get off the phone.
So he goes after the car.
So he goes after the car.
Did you punch the car?
I did. After she broke out my van window.
No. Did you break out his van window?
So you better stop lying. Give her a lie detector test right now.
Yeah, you did. Look at you smiling.
Hey,
no.
I went
you
to
did break out his window.
No. Your Honor, I was trying to avoid a situation of arguing and fighting, so I said I'm leaving. Right? And we go to drive out. She comes running out the house. Where's my $5? Where's my $5? I said, I ain't even got no money. She said, what? And I'm driving down, we're on a cul-de-sac. I'm driving out the end, and all I hear is,
no.
Window everywhere. So I get out the car, and I'm like, oh, I don't know what to do. And my first thing is, I don't want to destroy my stuff. I pay for that truck.
I got you.
I did not break out his car window.
She's lying to your face.
Lie. Danny.
And this was like
this
that
is
before we even moved in the
Mr.
house.
Pelly. This is a courtroom.
I'm sorry.
No one ever tells me the same story. Somebody's always lying. Please trust me. I get what's going on here. I know how to run things.
Okay,
you need to know how to run yourself.
I'm sorry.
You need to. What is that?
Banging on the door because I locked myself in the room and I'll call the police on him.
Okay, so you want me to give you $1,800 for transitional support. Why don't you explain to me why, and then we'll talk about what our situation is in its entirety.
I feel that he should pay the car note and help out with rent because he got me used to this lifestyle. He's always came in and paid bills, and I work, but not enough to cover all of them until I graduate next month. Then I'll be able to.
Mr. Pelly, what is your response to her request for $1,800?
She need to go back to that lifestyle. She ain't gonna be with me. You got to go back. I'm not supporting nobody. Look, if we leave, I'm the one that has to move out and go and find a new house and a new car. She gets to keep it all. So why should I have to go find all this stuff and pay you? If you can't blame me for introducing somebody to a lifestyle. You need to go back to that lifestyle. I shouldn't have to support you. period.
You do have a baby together, don't you?
I didn't say nothing about supporting my baby. That's different.
Yeah.
I mean, shouldn't I get transitional support since she would keep the house and I would have to move out? So shouldn't I get the $1,800?
That's not, let me explain to you why it doesn't work that way. There's always a whole lot going on in divorce court that people want to talk about. If you have something you want to say, join us on Twitter @DivorceCourt, or jump on our Facebook page and see what everybody's talking about on there. Sometimes you people get heated. Don't miss it. I rarely say this, but I am so very happy that the two of you are getting divorced. You are a combustible union, and it can serve no good for your children to be raised in the atmosphere that you've got going on here. May I say this to you, Mrs. Crudup? I think you hail from a disassembled community. From the bits and pieces of the picture I got of your family, wherever you come from is high volume, high anger, high agitation, not unknown to police, not unknown to assault, and that is a very difficult, distressful life, not only for your children, but for him. And I think that when you bring that disassembly into your home, it is very distressing to a person who is not himself disassembled. You've got to say, when you marry somebody, this is your dude, this is your cat, and whatever thing you got going on with your girls, with your friends, and all that, and hanging out all day and doing all that kind of stuff, that's got to be put to the side, and he has to get put first. And I don't think you did that, and I think that very legitimately added to his level of anger. I'm going to say that to you. And I'm going to also say this to you. As you leave him, please try also to leave that disassembled lifestyle. I'm so glad that you're in school. Get a job, get it together, but don't hang. You know what I mean by hanging? Because people who hang have a 40 or two. People are hang, ain't got nothing to do.
Yeah.
People are hang, make mistakes and do bad. Not good business. You learn, you live, you raise children, you marry, but you don't hang. And I feel your anger on that, Mr. Pelly. Here's what I have to say to you. In order to be a man and be the leader, which I think you believe you should be, you have to do so with a sense of strength and capacity to control yourself. If you are not in control of yourself, you cannot control the situation. You do have an anger problem. You have a serious anger problem. You've demonstrated it in here when I've shown you no disrespect, and you have come up and top and over me in a situation where I got on a black robe, a man with a gun, and can take your money from you, and you still could not control yourself. If I were you, I would take whatever time, money, and attitude you have and do something about that anger. Because your daughters are, is it a little girl that you have together?
6 weeks.
Yes, ma'am.
Please don't let her live that. Please don't let her live it when she knows that the man that his father can call her mother a B and a H. Don't let her live that, because she will live the life that you've given your wife. You don't want to see her with self-esteem that's just this big because the man in her life hollers at her and calls her names and gets angry with her and calls her a moron, because that's exactly, she'll go out and marry a guy just like you. And you don't want that for her, do you?
No.
Okay, let me tell you how transitional support works. When two people are together in a household, one person is bringing in money, the other person is supporting the house as far as domestically, and there is a separation. The person who is doing so domestically has absolutely no means by which to either continue to pay rent, continue to pay for diapers, continue to pay for food. They need a jump start. And that jump start is going to be $1,800 in favor of Mrs. Crudup. I wish you both the best of luck. As you know, in divorce court, I get a lot about anger, and I think a lot of people don't understand what anger really is. People don't get angry. Angry gets you. It hijacks your brain, it stops you from thinking, and makes you do all kinds of things that you don't want to do. Anger is nothing but fear and frustration, all dressed up to look like power. But it's really not power at all.